Hi all. For the longest time, I've been a believer that it's important to learn, it's important to have knowledge, but it certainly is important to practice what we've learned, to live it. In April, we had a program on campus that was co-sponsored with Phi Theta Kappa and the Center for Health, Wellness, and Personal Counseling. And the title to that program was Wellness Moves Minds. An outgrowth of that was some conversation relative to the fact that it would be really helpful to provide our college community with some mini sessions of relaxation. And we thought meditation, just to start off at a point where it would be something that people could do before work, during work, lunch hour, after work, just a way of coming back to some homeostasis, some place of settling in and feeling more relaxed. So we had this idea that we would gather a couple of people that are knowledgeable in the area of leading meditation and people that are practitioners, so that we would have this opportunity to actually provide this to our campus. So if we just take a simple definition of meditation, it is a practice. You do need to develop some skill over time, and we need to increase our concentration that can lead to awareness. So let's just take some time right now to do some breathing. Each day, the benefits of breathing are there for us. If you do this very good diaphragmatic breath where you put your hands on your abdomen and take a deep breath through your nose or your mouth, doesn't really matter. Just take a real deep breath with me right now. So it looks something like this. And at the top of that diaphragmatic breath is a pause, which triggers a part of our nervous system that literally calms us down. So one of the things about deep breathing is it can do several things for us, just like meditation can. It can decrease our resting heart rate. It can even decrease our heart rate when it's elevated a little. It promotes a feeling of relaxation and can definitely decrease muscle tension, which is something we all carry. We carry it in different places, but we do carry muscle tension. That's the stress of our day. It improves our mental clarity, so we can be more focused, more in the moment. And it also increases our ability to take oxygen into our lungs. So overall, it helps us deal with stress, deal with the overload of every day. In every age, the mind has always needed a respite from thoughts, worries, and external stimuli. We live in a century, the 21st century, where we have numerous distractions. 24/7, we call it. And those distractions have grown exponentially. It's not that there's anything wrong with our social media world. It has many benefits. We certainly can communicate much faster around the world. But it does put in our immediate vicinity distractions every day. So the result of that today is that people are less focused. They're not really in the moment. They're less mindful. And I think less patient and perhaps even somewhat more cynical. So let's be clear in the beginning. Meditation is not a panacea or a cure for the world's ills. However, it is a primary way of relaxing. A primary purpose of meditation is to be able to train the mind to minimize those distractions that I just mentioned. We have both internal distractions, being bombarded with thoughts, and we have many external distractions. So one becomes more focused and more mindful, more patient, and we've had people even reporting higher degrees of happiness and well-being when they can quiet the mind, when we can quiet those distractions. So simply stated, meditation is a way to detoxify so many of those distractions, to calm the mind from that sensory bombardment, that sensory overload that we have each day. We have a multitude of those distractions that can interfere with our clear thinking. So just in an academic setting alone, that makes sense. We all know that people are on their phones, people are checking on their Facebook. The average student is reported to check their Facebook 8 or 9 times a day. I would say it's probably 3 times that number. It has been long recognized that meditation is a viable antidote for insomnia. We can train our mind to release those thoughts and feelings that constantly compete for our attention. And therefore, we can gain this deep sense of peace. And we can achieve that in an awakened state by practicing mindfulness, by practicing relaxation skills. And that can carry over to that pre-sleep condition and even into our sleep. This all circles back to the benefits of meditation, which again can include that creation of healthier living and a healthier learning environment. So let's just take some examples of that. It doesn't happen overnight. You don't wake up any given morning and decide you're going to run a marathon the next day. All kinds of examples we could come up with would say that most things that we want to do that are purposeful and have meaning and create some real peace and some place of relaxation in our life take practice. So we decided to offer some small doses, some small mini meditations that you can be directed by 2 people that have expert experience with this. And more importantly, they're practitioners. They live this themselves. So let's go back to the primary purpose of this. Primary purpose of meditation is concentration. Now, why would we want to create self-awareness? So that we remember that our lives are not the steeply sloping hour in which we see ourselves hurrying. We're so much more than the hurry. Meditation is that opportunity to calm the mind from all of that sensory overload. I have a proverb that I often quote to my students in the stress management textbook, which clearly states, when the student is ready, the teacher will come. So there's a readiness to practice. When we're able to put ourselves in a place of just taking small doses of rest. For example, if you sat at your computer for 8 hours a day, the research is telling us, get up every 20 minutes or so. Go out, look out a window, look at the horizon, move your joints a little bit. Get that little bit of a respite from what you're doing. So if you sit all day, stand up. If you stand all day, sit down. The 2 teachers that are expert in providing these doses of meditation are Dr. Peter DeLucas, who is on our campus, and Heidi Stonier, who as well is on our campus. Peter teaches philosophy primarily, and Heidi teaches yoga and meditation. And as I said before, it's not just the body of knowledge that they're going to promote and give you opportunity to practice, but they practice. They're 2 people that live what they teach. So I always ask my students, what do you think is most important about learning stress management? And they say the skills, so we could be less stressed. And I agree. So it takes practice. I say the 3 major parts of managing stress are getting some strategy that fits you, fits your personality, that really brings you back down to a state of homeostasis or relaxation. If our heart rate is still up and our blood pressure is still up, and if we are definitely feeling like we just don't know which way to turn, we have so many things that we're juggling, then we need to practice this. We need to live those skills. So we can provide this forum, and we can provide it for people that just want to tune in to us in the morning, at a lunch break, or even in the afternoon when your day is done. So you leave this environment of learning or work and go home a lot calmer. So I think our purpose here is not just to teach the skills, but to really live the skills. I'm happy to say that we're growing this right now. We want to have this opportunity on campus to get people to feel like they can relax here. Yeah, it's where we go to school, it's where we work, it's where we learn, but it's where we also live a great many hours. So many working places today have wellness areas where people can go and just kick off their shoes and start doing some mini meditations. So that's what we want to start on campus. We want to start these opportunities where you'll first be led by Peter and by Heidi, and they can do some different strategies for you, different types of meditation, but then you start owning this yourself. So if any of this is helpful to you, then I would say contact us. Let us know. The Center for Health, Wellness, and Personal Counseling runs a lot of programs throughout the year. I know that our personal counselors right now are setting up opportunities where you can learn things like stress management, anger management, more about healthy relationships. And I certainly am about that as the director of the Wellness Center. We want to provide opportunities for yoga on campus, all free of charge. Meditation, Tai Chi, learn more about exercise strategies, and more about just finding something that fits you, where you can own it and you can practice it. And then it becomes second nature. So please take this opportunity with us. We're going to take another deep breath. Might as well start right here in practice. Just put your hands on your abdomen. If you want to close your eyes, that would be great. Just take a nice deep breath with me. It's okay to let people know that we breathe. So I like to breathe through my nose and then let it out very slowly out your mouth. Take that deep breath so your abdomen comes out. So it looks something like this. Let's practice one first together. And now let's do one just so we know the practice is what we need. Another deep breath. So that we become practitioners. I do really believe that we can all master this. So please, tune in, as I said, for a mini dose of meditation, and then practice. We would love to hear from you. I would love to hear from you. What suggestions do you have for us to offer other opportunities on campus for people to relax? So kpinatelli@bergen.edu is my email address, and my direct phone number is 201-493-3536. It really is important that we as a community live this example and be the role models for others. Remember, our lives are not this steeply sloping hour in which you see us hurrying. There's so much more to who we are. Just take the time to tune in and give yourself the gift of relaxation.